Hi everyone. Today I'd like to briefly think about commandments, rules and laws. We live by many rules and laws in our land, and we think today about all the children going back to school and all the rules and regulations that we find in a school and college environment, and all the extra rules and things that have been put in place to keep them safe during this time of COVID. When we think about our laws, many of our laws are built around the 10 Commandments that we find in the book of Exodus in the Bible. The 10 Commandments are a very short text, but a very memorable one. They were laws entrusted to a community of people who have been rescued from slavery, a people who have been saved from their enemies through the crossing of the Red Sea. A people called into a special covenant relationship with God. And they are, as we see in Exodus, they are learning to live in freedom as they journey to the promised land. And because of that, they needed some rules, some laws to keep them safe, to keep them together, and to keep them on their journey forward to the promised land. Our laws now in our country and throughout our world are based on and around our 10 Commandments. If we skip a few hundred years later, Jesus is asked by one of the scribes, which commandment is the first of all? And Jesus answered, the first is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. And the second is this, you shall love your neighbour as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these. Two wonderful commandments, one perhaps a little easier than the other. During this time of COVID, I have seen so many people looking after their neighbour, both those that live physically next door to them or in their street, but also their neighbours across communities, across towns, across our country. We have seen people doing shopping, cleaning, looking out for one another, just knocking on people's doors to find out if they're okay, really trying to support and uphold one another. And I just hope and pray that that will continue as we journey forward together. The first commandment is a little more tricky, to love our God with all of our hearts, with all of our minds, with all of our soul, and with all of our strength. That commandment is a little more tricky. I wonder today whether you are worshipping God with all that you are. And I really want to leave you with that thought today. We have our commandments that we live our lives by and have been so valuable throughout the centuries to bring about our legal system and rules to keep us safe and keep us together as we journey on. We have learned how to care for our neighbour in even more reality during this time of COVID. But are we loving and worshipping our God with all that we are? As a church here in Snodland, we are looking at a pilgrim course again from this Saturday, the 5th of September, and then next Wednesday, we are looking at the commandments, both the 10 commandments and the 2 commandments that Jesus taught us. If you would like to join us, we are doing it via Zoom. We begin this Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock, and we then next Wednesday from 7 till 8. If you are interested and would like to join us to learn some more, please do either send me a message via our social media or do email or call me at the Rectory. It would be lovely if you would like to join us, and maybe you can give us an insight into how you have been loving your neighbour and how you have been loving and worshipping God through this difficult time, and also as we come together to journey forward with the laws and the rules to keep us safe, to keep us loving, to keep us caring, and to keep us with our faith and our prayers.